Welcome to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. Consider this a vitamin or a supplement for your mind. If you haven't signed up yet for Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, go to Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you download podcasts from, and subscribe. Please leave a review if you would as well. Today I'm going to talk about a statement that my grandmother, my blind grandmother who raised me, used to tell me all of the time. You may agree or you may disagree with it, but this is how I've tried to order my life. She used to say to me, early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. She was a real stickler for punctuality. And I'm here to tell you she really infected me with that disease as well. I've done some traveling around the world and some teaching in a college in a third world country, and I have early on in my life learned that time and punctuality isn't necessarily a worldwide phenomena. Why is it that some people are punctual and some are not, and some are a little more time conscious and others are not? Is it just the way we were born? Is it like me, the teaching of my parent or guardian? Is it the teachers we have in life? I don't know what the reason is, but I can tell you anyone who's served on staff with me over the years heard me say often, early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. It was Leo Tolstoy who made this quote in that giant book, War and Peace. And he said, the strongest of all warriors in the world are time and patience. Time and patience. And they are still vital. It was Shakespeare who said in Richard II, I have wasted time, now time doth waste me. You can go ahead and waste time, but it will catch up with you. Now, I think it's a wonderful political philosophy to say that all people, all men, all women are created equal. But I've been shaving my face for a long time, every day looking into a mirror, and every day that I look in the mirror, I know that it is practically not true. All people are not created equal. Everyone has not had to look like me. And there are all other ways in which you and I are not equal. There's some people who just seemingly had a better pedigree. There are some people that have gotten different kinds of breaks. There's some who were born into wealthy households. And so, though we're not all equal, there is one area for sure, and there are more, but one major area where we are all equal is we all have been given the same 24 hours a day. It's up to us what we do with them. You see, I can spend all my money. I can even go bankrupt, and I can get a new job, and I can work harder, and I can make some money back. I can lose my job and go out and find another job. But when you waste time and you lose time, it is not only gone, it is indeed gone forever. Time is a precious commodity. Now, when I was a real young person, and I would have heard someone talking like I'm talking at this moment, I'm not sure that I would have bought in to all of that. But as you get a little more mature in your age, you realize one of the greatest gifts you are ever given is the gift of time. But let me clear something up right here at the very beginning. I have studied and read and tried many devices about time management. And here's the conclusion I have come to. There really isn't any such thing as time management. All time management is self-management. All time management is self-management. You see, I hear people telling me all the time, like a badge of honor, I'm so busy, I don't have time for that. You see, your real problem is a lack of direction. It's not a lack of time. A lack of time is not the problem. Everyone, young, old, and everyone in between, the United States and around the world, we all have the same daily allotment of time. It's not the lack of time, it's the lack of direction. Everyone has 24 hours. What are we going to do about it? Now, as we continue on with this podcast down through the weeks and months ahead, I'll talk about nightly routines and morning routines and all of those sorts of things. But if I could just review briefly or give a real brief overview, a little bit of what I have been doing is that the night before, I do several things, but the thing that I want to point out that I do that I believe is a real time saver and gives me a jump start going into the new day is I always, always, always review my calendar before I go to bed. I make sure I go over what appointments I have the next day, whatever meetings I have. Am I ready? Do I have the material ready? Do I know where I need to be? Am I going to be there? What are the things that I need to block out time to do? And so it gives me a confidence right before I go to bed that I have tomorrow in my mind, logged in, know where I need to be. Now, I know there are always emergencies, and I understand that. But believe me, I think the only people who can really, truly handle emergencies are prepared people, people who have a plan of what they're going to do. Now, in subsequent podcasts, I'll tell you some other things that I do every night. But right now, when we're talking about time/self-management, you need to know before you go to bed, you need to get it fixed in your mind and your heart. What am I doing tomorrow? Where am I going to be? Do I have everything in order that I can get to those places? Are they spaced out, timed out? And have I carved out other time in my schedule to get things done? Then, in the morning, I have a morning routine. And again, I'll flesh that out in the days and weeks ahead. But let me just give you a few of the things that I do when I get up in the morning. I really do it the night before, and one of the first things that I look at in the morning is, as I look at my calendar, I ask myself the night before, what are the three priorities? If the whole day falls apart or there are unforeseen circumstances that happen, what are my three priorities that before I go to bed tomorrow night, they must be done? I actually write them down. What are those three things? 1, 2, 3. I do that before I go to bed. When I get up in the morning, I look at my three priorities and make sure that I understand I have the time, I have all the tools that I need, and I must make sure those three things are done before I move on to anything else and before I go to bed that evening. Now, I'm a Christian, so I pray and I read a few chapters in the Bible in the morning. I have some other things that I read. I'm a Kindle devotee, and I read my books there. And then 5 to 6 days a week, I go to my local YMCA, and I do the exercises and things that I need to do that have helped me to lose, as of right now, 61 pounds since last August. So that exercise is a priority. I just schedule it in. I schedule it in very early, before the phones start ringing, before the schedule has to be amended, before the meetings have to be attended to. I do the exercise. I then, before I even get into my office, if I'm going into the office that day, I try to go having not only done the routines that I need to do early in the morning, but at least have one of my top priorities, my top priority taken care of. It gives me a sense of satisfaction when I go into work knowing that I already have a minimum of a third of my top priorities already knocked out for the day, plus my praying, my reading, my exercise, and other things like that. I have some other things that I do, but if you're going to manage time, and you're going to pay attention to time, and you're going to be on time, it starts by having a plan and a routine. Now, many of us are afraid that our growth and our change, our health change, financial changes, spiritual changes, relationship changes in our lives, that they're all going too slow. Do not be afraid of growing slowly. Be more afraid of standing still. You can't stand still. You're either progressing or you're regressing. You're either making progress or you're going backward. You aren't going to get to your goal tomorrow, more than likely. Just continue to make consistent, Consistent small changes, taking actions, and you will get there. Now, here's what I hear people talking about all the time. I'll get around that tomorrow. Why do today what I can put off until tomorrow? I'm not going to attend that or take care of that until tomorrow. And here's what I have determined. Do you know what the busiest day of the week is? It's not Monday or Sunday or Friday or Saturday or any other day. The busiest day of the week is always tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get around it tomorrow. Quit putting off till tomorrow what you should be doing today. And one of the reasons we do that is we have no plan. We have no course of action. We have not outlined what 3 things I must get done, what are a priority, not just staying busy, but what do I do to actually move the needle, to move my life forward that will have an impact on me, my family, eternity, my relationships, my finances. Everything happens by taking an action and moving forward. Quit putting off till tomorrow what you should be doing today. Before you go to bed tonight, just ask yourself, what am I going to do tomorrow? What's on my schedule for tomorrow? Get it outlined in your mind. Get out a Post-it, an index card, tear off a piece of paper, write it on the back of your hand, whatever is available, and say, before I go to bed tomorrow night, I have to have number 1, number 2 action, number 3 action completed. And if you'll do that, and you'll do it consistently over enough days, weeks, and months, you, my friend, will be utterly amazed at the transformation that takes place in your life. This is Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. Consider this a vitamin or a supplement for your mind. For if you're going to change your actions, you have to change your thinking. Again, wherever you receive podcasts from, go there and subscribe to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom. And God bless you. I'll talk to you the next time.